Hey guys, welcome back. Drip and Farm for Property. I'm your host, Drip Coach, and let's jump right into it. So today we're going to be discussing power dynamics in DeFi, especially as it relates to animal farm and drip ecosystem. So regarding transparency and trust, we got a real life scenario from the community driven project Hellhounds, as well as Guardians of the Reservoir, and some of the things that took place over this last week. Now, full disclaimer, I'm not involved with any of these projects. I just read through the Telegram, copy pasted all of the information, threw it into ChatGPT for a summary, and I'm going to be sharing you guys what I've heard through the grapevine alongside that. But I was not involved with these projects. I don't have any other context on this. So I'm trying to just give you neutral information about them in case you have heard about them or unaware of their status, so to speak. And first and foremost, again, these were projects created by the community, governed by the community, and in support of the animal farm as well as drip. So first up was the Hellhounds. So as far as I'm aware now, I guess this project is kind of quote unquote done, but Hellhounds was a project that was created by LD, Unmade Sugar, Driptopian, Mo, and Crypto Mark 7. And basically in the Telegram, I'm not going to pull that up and show you, but you guys can search for it and find it yourself if you want the actual play-by-play of what took place. But essentially, it took, I guess, an unexpected turn for some people within the project. So there was some tension between LD and the decision he made to redirect the funds from Hellhounds to his other project, Brick by Brick. So he's also the developer behind Brick by Brick, which is another DeFi project, NFT project that deals with real estate somewhere in South America. I'm drawing a blank right now. But since he was behind both of these and they didn't have a multi-sig, he made the decision to move the funds from the dog pound. I think he actually had to sell the dogs. I'm not really sure. Again, I don't have details, but the main thing that people were going back and forth on is that he made a decision without letting the community know, and it had been done like about 3 months ago. So the issue is that when you have centralization in projects like this, like we've also seen Forex controlling things in the drip and animal farm ecosystem, that has a double-edged sword. It can allow for quick and decisive action in a pinch. However, it also bypasses community consent, which sparks trust issues. And that is the big red flag that came up in the group in the Telegram. So for most of us, transparency is the bedrock of trust in any community project. So while we may assume that LD's intentions might have been to save the project from what we've seen all other projects in the drip ecosystem and animal farm ecosystem do, it led to some suspicion and unrest due to the lack of communication. So a lot of the members found out multiple months later that this had been moved, and the yield that they were generating was because he had moved to another project. So on the one side, it was not generating any yield and going down further and further. And then since he's moved it, I think it's up, like he said, about 25%. So the move benefited, but nobody knew about it unless you just look on the blockchain, of course, because everything's transparent, but it wasn't shared with the community for like a vote or anything like that. So also what came up is the Guardians of the Reservoir. So in I think a week after this issue in the Hellhounds, LD puts out a post in Guardians of the Reservoir, basically giving the community two options for how to handle the liquidity in the Guardians of the Reservoir. So he announced the end of the project, presenting two options for the remaining funds. One, to redistribute them among NFT holders, or burn them in a final effort to support the ecosystem. And that once again sparked a whirlwind of reactions and issues. So I won't name the individuals that express their concerns of lack of trust and transparency. But again, you had people on both sides because things were being done without other members of the community knowing about it. And Guardians of the Reservoir had a lot of different people involved in it. I don't know what their role was in regards to the actual contract, stuff like that. But the main figureheads, I believe, were also similar to what we had here. So I know definitely Mo and Unmade and LD were in charge of, I guess, most of it. But LD, from what I understand, I guess, controlled the wallet. They did not get a multi-sig. So it's kind of 6 on one hand, half a dozen the other, because since the project is up and people are making money from it, a lot of people don't care. On the other hand, if it had a crash and burned and something bad happened to Brick by Brick and they lost all the money, then of course they'd be trying to have LD's head even more so. So it's one of those things you just got to kind of, like I keep saying, don't trust but verify, but there always is some level of trust that you have to go with. We trust that the blockchain is going to always be there. We trust that the validators are going to do what they're going to do. We trust that the code is the law, all these different things. There is a level of trust you have to deal with. And someone presenting to you a contract and that they are in control of the keys until they make a multi-sig or whatever, you have to trust them. So you have to decide, which side of the fence you sit in on this. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because this was projects that supported, again, the drip and animal farm ecosystem. And it just makes me wonder if things just tied to the sinking ship of Forex is destined to things like this, because you have all these people wanting to do positive things for the ecosystem, but all that goodwill just gets wrung out, and people can't sustain it because his projects have done nothing of what he said they're going to do. So you're hitching your horse to this, hoping that things will change, and then now it affects your project. So Hellhounds, I guess, was doomed from the start because now we know how Forex operates. But it was a great idea, and even I wanted to make the Crypto Ranch project tied to the animal farm. I'm glad that didn't take off, because we would have lost all that yield on that as well. So it's hard to say, but at the end of the day, if you're making a project, you do need to create some form of liquidity or have sustainability coming into the project. And of course, rehypothecation or staking, yield provisioning is one way to do it. Finding real world value, of course, is a better way. But in example with Brick by Brick, this is extremely unregulated. So this is essentially selling real estate internationally. So I don't know how many boxes you have to technically check for this to take place, but it's in South America. And until this gets big enough to catch the eye of certain people, I guess it's okay. I had thought about similar projects here in Cambodia because it's constantly developing, and I have a lot of very affluent friends doing things, building stuff. One of them actually in charge of a toll road between two major cities, a multi-billion-dollar project that his family helped to be the liaison contract for with some representatives from China. So there's opportunities to invest, but what is the red tape and legalities if you open that up on a crypto platform and start selling it to non-citizens and stuff? I have no idea, hence why I have not shared any of this. But it does allow, that's what crypto is for, DeFi is for, is to open up these opportunities. But I don't know what the legalities are on that, where the IMF comes into, the FATF, all these different things, what that entails, because especially when we start talking about real estate, there are definitely some laws in the US for it. I have no idea. Like, for example, in Cambodia, to own real estate, you have to to have it in your name, so to speak, you have to be a actual local, a resident, basically. You have to have the nationality of Khmer or a passport in the city or a country, so you can purchase these rights. And a lot of countries have that ability for you to purchase citizenship, so to speak. But anyway, I'm digressing. So if you're looking for more information, jump into the Hellhounds Guardians of the Reservoir group and find out what the status is. But at the end of the day, you have to decide how you want to play the DeFi game. How much trust versus verification are you willing to leverage? Because something's got to give, unless you just stick to blue chips. And that might be the actual solution to all this. All right, that's all I got. Smash that HBO special, help a brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.